Global Mutirão, realizing just transitions. Welcome to the German Climate Pavilion at COP30 in Berlin.
Welcome everybody. Welcome to the German Climate Pavilion. Thank you so much for making time and space in all your busy calendars, and welcome to a very special side event here when we talk about Baden-Württemberg and California, a very special transatlantic partnership for climate action. And our event now is, of course, deepening on the one side the already existing memorandum of understanding between Baden-Württemberg and the state of California, but it's also an event against a backdrop of a worldwide backlash of climate and environmental activity. So it's crucial to not just look on a national level, but also on a federal state level. And with that, I welcome you once again, everyone. Welcome also to Governor Newsom, the governor of California, joining us from the US. Thank you for coming here to COP30 in Berlin. Also, thank you to Minister Thekla Walker, Minister for Environment, Climate and the Energy Sector in Baden-Württemberg. Also with us, Secretary Crowfoot, Secretary for Natural Resources in California. Thank you for coming. And last but not least, Herrn StS Flasbarth, State Secretary, coming from the Federal Ministry for the Environment, Climate Action, Nature Conservation and Nuclear Safety in Germany. And with that, we start right into our side event. Thanks for your patience. Sorry for the quick delay, but we are all here now. It's lovely to see you all. And we start with, of course, with a fireside conversation on a very bold question, because the question that keeps us busy, of course, is and remains: how can subnational governments demonstrate that the frontrunners in the field of environment, climate, and energy are still there? And how can we benefit from each other's experiences, and how can we collaborate to overcome common challenges? Because it is a global mutirão, it is a problem of all of us. So to fight climate action, it comes down to all our actions. And for that fireside conversation, I welcome here now on stage Secretary Crowfoot and Minister Walker. Please join me on stage. Good to see you too, thank you. I already mentioned a few things, and we would like to start, of course, with the current climate strategy of the one side Baden-Württemberg, but also, of course, the strategy of California. So I start with Minister Walker. So take us with you. What is the current state of climate action when it comes to Baden-Württemberg, a beautiful state in the south of Germany?
One of the most beautiful in Germany, I would say. I mean, I can say that here. Yeah, thank you very much. I think we are on track in terms of the energy sector in Baden-Württemberg. We really achieved a lot. We had a huge expansion of solar energy. We also started to build wind turbines. We have a very good climate action law also for adaptation. Now we really have obligations for every town in Baden-Württemberg to make a plan how we can adapt to what we cannot change, yes? And also we have the obligation for solar on rooftops, and not only new buildings, but also when you have a renovation, yeah? When you make a new, when you renovate the whole building. And so we have done a lot, and I think it's a good mixture of rules, of subsidies, and also information, of course. That's very important because many people or smaller companies, they don't know how to do it. The big companies, of course, they know how to trickle the whole problem. They invest already in solar energy and also in their own wind parks because they know it's good to be independent from the markets, to have their own energy supply, and they know how the price will be. But, of course, we have other sectors in Baden-Württemberg beside the energy sector, like the vehicles, the mobility is very difficult. Yeah, as you know, the electricity, the cars is not that easy. We really have to achieve much more if we want to reach our climate targets. We want to be climate neutral in 2040. And also the building sector in terms of heat. Is not that easy, but we have already a good thing, I guess, in Baden-Württemberg. We have the obligation for cities and city districts to have a plan for the change of the heat in direction of renewable energy. So for over half of the people in Baden-Württemberg, we have now a plan and first steps how to supply renewable energy for the heating of the buildings. But it's still a long way to go. And we need, the dynamics of the last years should go on. That's very important, I think.
Thank you, Minister. So let's travel to California in our minds, and of course with our next question and classical music in the background.
Well, listen, I'll be short and to the point. California is proud to be here and share our model of low-carbon green growth. Since the time when Ronald Reagan was governor, California has set a pathway to grow our economy and reduce our pollution. We were proud almost 20 years ago to be one of the first governments in the world to set state law to reduce pollution. And since that time, we've reduced pollution significantly while we've grown our economy. And we're proud to share that we're the fourth largest economy in the world. 2/3 of our energy that's powering this economy is clean energy. 9 out of 10 days this year, at least for a portion of the day, the entire state, the entire economy ran on clean energy. Almost 1/3 of new vehicle sales in the last quarter were zero-emission vehicles. California is an economy, is a place that's demonstrating this transition is not only possible, but necessary. Necessary to grow jobs. We have 7 times the number of clean tech jobs as we do fossil jobs in California. Our governor talks about this. This is not only the right thing to do for the planet and to protect our people, it's the smart thing to do for our economic future.
What makes you from that climate action strategy most proud of?
I'm proud of our continuity, and I'm proud of California's leadership. At a time when the federal government is literally missing in action, California is here leading a delegation of 24 states, representing over half of the American population, over half of our economy, that are led by governors that are driving on this. So people have to know this about American federalism. It is the United States of America. Our states have a lot of power and authority to keep this transition moving forward, and under California's leadership, we're working to do that.
What would you say, what are the biggest achievements that you can share from the federal perspective, from Baden-Württemberg's perspective on climate action and climate protection?
I want to stay in the bigger picture, you know, because I can say that too for Baden-Württemberg. Where was the market that was growing in the last years? In the last 10 or 15 years, it's the green tech market. The whole green tech, or you call it clean tech, you know, like renewable energies, clean water, clean air, circular economy, also very important in the whole field. We had the last years, every year growth, and every year more jobs. So for me, that's the same question. It's not climate protection or green energy or green tech or economy. The economy will be only successful when we keep this track. Yeah, because we are also a region in Baden-Württemberg where we have a lot of research, development, innovation, patente, yeah. We are really very good still as a small part of the world, yeah, but if we want to be successful in the future, we have to keep this track and also the targets. We shouldn't be slower. Yeah, that's a very decisive moment right now. Like in California, we should stay in track and be as fast as possible, because other regions in the world, like China, they don't sleep. Yeah, they invest a lot. When you see the numbers. And I think it's for our economies very important to keep these targets alive.
Talking about challenges as well, can you name one or the biggest challenge that you see as a top priority from your side?
I mean, the top priority in Germany, what we discuss now, is how we can manage the huge investments for the infrastructure. Because we are talking about 500, 600, 700 billions for the grids, for the whole modernization, digitalization, AI, for the new infrastructure. But I think it's worth it, because scientists have shown if we do that now, energy and everything will be cheaper in a couple years. If we don't do it now, these investments, it will be more difficult in 10 years or in 15 years. Yeah? And for Europe, for Germany, as for California, we need energy, and energy that is affordable for companies and for citizens. And the other point I think is very important in our discussion is the cultural question. So what is the narrative? I think we really, the challenge is to find a narrative about a future where people can live in prosperity with all these changes. Because now people are somehow afraid. So what will happen? What will be the new system? What will be my part? Can I afford it? And we have to find a new narrative where we can see a positive vision of a future. People are afraid, and fear is not a good source for decisions.
What challenge, or maybe what headaches, do you see when it comes to climate action in California?
Well, there's one, but they're not here right now. So one is the federal government and the hostility towards this transition, which we're going to push through. Another is just being on the front edge of this transition. How do we navigate challenges as they come up? Reliability, for example, as it gets hotter in a place like California, has been a challenge. So our government brought on, in the last few years alone, almost 17,000 megawatts of energy storage to address the intermittencies of renewables and, like wind and solar. As a result, we haven't seen reliability challenges over the last few summers when we did before. So we're working through those. And then I'm just with the minister. We have to ensure that people see themselves in this future, whether it's indigenous communities in the Amazon or it's people living their lives in Stuttgart or Los Angeles.
Beautiful. So to both of you, thank you very much for that short fireside conversation. Thank you very much. As we will change now quickly the setup. And what we've just learned is, of course, that climate protection at a national level is still important, especially also for the subnational actors such as states or Länder. It remains a very important issue, of course, because this level of government is much closer, of course, to citizens and to the fields of the impact of climate change. And the responsibilities for dealing with these impacts often lie precisely at this local level. Just think of managing rivers during these heavy rainfalls that we experience the floods, or when we respond to forest fires, to storm damage. So the local levels, they need to have this strong muscle of resilience. And sharing experiences and solutions, of course, is key, as we all learn through this togetherness, Mutrau, when it comes together. I think, yes, breathing in and breathing out again. And now it's my big honor to give the floor to the governor of California. Please welcome Governor Newsom.
I just want to thank everybody for giving us this opportunity, this platform. I think Wade said it well. I hope we can express to all of you, and if there's one message I want to deliver to all of you, is that California distinguishes itself from the current occupant in the White House. in Washington, D.C. California is a stable and reliable partner. California just doubled down on its low-carbon green growth. We just extended our Cap and Invest program through 2045, creating a predictive market for carbon at scale in a state that's larger than 21 state populations in America combined. But we also have combined something, I think, unique and distinctive, and Wade referenced that. The modern environmental movement goes back to then Governor Ronald Reagan, a Republican. It was codified, our leadership, by then Republican president by the name of Richard Nixon. It's been extended by Democratic administrations and Republican administrations. It's not ideological. 3/4 of Californians are on the other side of this debate. Alternative energy is not clean energy, it is the dominant energy now in terms of our investment. And it's a cost of living issue. It's about affordability. And it's about time we start to frame it accordingly. Climate risk is financial risk. It's not complicated. And climate risk is hard to insure. The insurance market itself, which is the housing market, which is the mortgage market, all across the United States is being impacted by the impacts of the hots getting hotter and the dries getting drier. And so we're here to frame it in economic terms, in cost of living terms. Clean energy is cheap energy. And as Wade said, the 4th largest economy in the world is running on 100% clean energy 9 out of 10 days so far this year. 2/3 of our grid is clean and green. But it's not, and I'll close, about electric dominance. It's about economic dominance. And I think the minister was absolutely right, because if anyone is paying attention, China, they're not interested in this debate. They are flooding the zone, and they're going to dominate in the next great global industry. So I'm here as well from an economic prism. The United States of America is dumb as we want to be on this topic, but the state of California is not. And so we are going to assert ourselves, we're going to lean in, and we are going to compete in this space. But we can't do that without all of you. And this is how I'll end, with humility and grace and understanding that we need to build partnerships and we need to build on collaboration. So we're here with an open hand, not a closed fist. We're here to celebrate the 10th anniversary of the founding. We thank you of this partnership that we advanced with the Under2 Coalition to build on the partnerships that Wade referenced to the U.S. Climate Alliance that represents 24 governors, 55% of the United States population. Because one thing we know is if you want to go fast, go alone, but if you want to go far, we have to go together. Thank you all very, very much.
Thank you, Governor Newsom. And now we are coming to the signing of the joint declaration to put ink on this partnership again. And I welcome again Secretary Crowfoot and Minister Walker to sign the first round. Do we need a pen? Maybe you share a pen. It shows partnership, so you're just... Beautiful. Thank you. That was the first round. Thank you. Okay, we quickly switch to folders. And everybody gets a picture, so get ready for the next round. Sharing a pen is the most easiest challenge to tackle here during a conference like that. Wonderful. That is the first round. Thank you very much. First picture. And then, of course, we do a second thank you. We do a second round, so I ask Governor Newsom and State Secretary Johann Flasbarth to also sign. We smile, okay. We take a photo. So this is the official declaration photograph. Yes, it's the camera opt and the photo opt for all the journalists here. From left to right. Beautiful, all done, thumbs up. Beautiful, thank you very much. And now I hand over for the closing remarks to Johann Flasbarth.
So look, Governor, Minister, Secretary, in a nutshell, dear friends, I want to be brief. What we saw here between California and Baden-Württemberg, Governor and Tekla, wait, this is the future. The others deciding to move away from international solidarity, they are the past in reality. They are losing track to what you just described. If you want to go far, you have to do it mutirao, yeah, together. And that is the spirit here. We are very happy that we witnessed here the signing of the joint statement. And let me share very briefly, it was in 2016. Trump administration was elected and we decided on the spot to do an MOU which was not planned because we did not expect what happened in your country. And we signed an MOU between my ministry and California with your predecessor. And I'm very happy from a federal level, and I'm very serious about it. We know what we have with our states in Germany. And US should know what they have with their states in the US, because this is something that ensures continuity, and that is what creates innovative solutions and leadership in the world. So I really want to applaud the two regions to be so creative and always pushing forward what we need to do for a transformative agenda. As I said, I will be very brief. We share all what you are doing. We are happy that you are continuing. We will be supportive from the federal level, and we are looking forward that there will be a federal administration in Washington, D.C. again, doing the same as we do. And yes, and let me finish by saying something about whether we made progress since Paris. I hear sometimes a little bit of frustration. We are not where we should be. Even the Secretary General said we did not achieve the 1.5. Yes, but look at the figures. This coalition created basically or launched by Baden-Württemberg and California, the Under2 Coalition. It was named Under2 by the most progressive regions of the world. Nobody could have said at this time, you are not ambitious, but they called them Under2 and not under 1.5. And nowadays, no one is talking about 2 degrees. We are talking about 1.5. Rightly so, to keep it an average in this century. This is the spirit of this COP here. Thanks for your leadership. Have a nice day today.
Thank you to Johann Flasbarth, and with that we are closing that beautiful side event, and it shows again trustful partnerships are so essential when we are realizing just transition together. I wish you a successful rest of the second COP30 day. Please feel welcome to always step by here at the German Climate Pavilion, and with that I see you soon. Thank you.
Global Mutirão, realizing just transitions. welcome to the German Climate Pavilion at COP30 in Billy.